The night shift at Border Station Omega-7 was usually boring. Lieutenant Kara spent most nights watching empty space on her screens, but tonight was different. "Sir," she called to Admiral Crix, "you need to see this." The Admiral walked over, coffee in hand. He expected another asteroid alert. Instead, his coffee cup crashed to the floor. On the screen, space itself seemed to tear open. Energy readings jumped off the charts. Something massive was coming through, but not through any hyperspace gate or warp tunnel they knew. "That's impossible," Crix whispered. The tear widened. A ship emerged that made no sense. While Imperial vessels were smooth and elegant, this thing was all sharp angles and exposed metal. It looked primitive, like something from their history books, but the energy readings told a different story. "Power levels are..." Kara checked her screen twice. "Sir, this can't be right. It's generating more power than our entire station." The ship fully emerged from the tier, which sealed behind it. On its dark hull, strange symbols glowed. UESDEFIANC. "All stations, red alert." Crix ordered. Alarms blared across the station. "Sir, it's not using any known propulsion system," reported the science officer. "No ion trails, no graviton emissions, nothing. It's like it just exists where it wants to be." The Admiral activated the sector-wide alert. Within minutes, 12 Imperial battleships dropped out of hyperspace, weapons ready. "Unknown vessel," Crix broadcast. "You have entered Imperial space. Identify yourself immediately." Silence. Then every screen in the station flickered. A face appeared, not alien as expected, but strangely familiar. Pink skin, forward-facing eyes, small nose. It looked like an Imperial citizen, but different. "This is Captain Sarah Chen of the United Earth ship Defiance," the being said in perfect Imperial standard. "We mean no harm, but we will defend ourselves if necessary." The bridge crew gasped. How did this stranger know their language? "Your ship appeared using unknown technology," Crix replied carefully. "We require..." "Admiral," Kara interrupted, her voice shaking. "Their weapons just went active. They're targeting all our ships. All of them. At once. Impossible. No ship has that kind of targeting capability." "Sir, I'm reading quantum-locked targeting systems. They can hit every ship simultaneously with 100% accuracy." The human captain smiled. "As I said, we can defend ourselves. Now shall we talk like civilized beings?" Crix felt sweat on his brow. In 5,000 years, the Empire had never encountered technology they couldn't understand. Until now. "Stand down all weapons," he ordered his fleet. "Captain Chen, we are willing to talk." "Excellent choice, Admiral. We've been watching your empire for quite some time. We thought it was time to introduce ourselves properly." As the channel closed, Crix turned to his crew. "Send priority message to Imperial Command. Tell them." He paused, still staring at the impossible ship on his screen. "Tell them everything we thought we knew about the universe just changed." Outside, the Defiance hung motionless in space, looking crude yet emanating power beyond comprehension. The Empire's 5,000-year reign of technological supremacy had ended in a single night. And this was just the beginning. Ambassador Lyra adjusted her ceremonial robes as she prepared to board the shuttle. First contact with a new species was always delicate work, but this one felt different. Wrong. "Remember the protocol," she told her team. "These beings are clearly primitive. Their ship may have power, but look at that crude design. They probably found ancient technology they don't understand." Her assistant, Devon, nodded nervously. "Yes, Ambassador. Should we bring gifts? Maybe some basic teaching devices?" Liara smiled. "Good thinking. Pack some children's learning tablets. They'll need help understanding our language." The shuttle approached the human ship. Up close, the Defiance looked even stranger. Metal plates welded together, exposed pipes, and what appeared to be manual access hatches. How did something so primitive generate such power? UES Defiance. This is Imperial Shuttle 1 requesting docking permission, the pilot announced. Permission granted. Bay 3 is open, came the reply in perfect Imperial standard. Liara froze. Did they just speak our language? The shuttle landed in a surprisingly modern docking bay. As the doors opened, Liara expected to see primitive beings struggling with basic tools. Instead, she found herself face to face with beings that looked remarkably like her own people, wearing crisp uniforms and carrying advanced tablets. Ambassador Liara. Captain Chen greeted her with a perfect Imperial bow. Welcome aboard the Defiance. I trust your journey was comfortable. Liara's mouth opened and closed like a fish. You know our customs, our language. Of course, Chen smiled. We've been studying your empire for generations. Please, follow me to the conference room. As they walked through the ship, Liara's confusion grew. The corridors were clean and efficient. Crew members worked at stations displaying technology she couldn't identify. Everything looked basic on the surface, but underneath. How long have you been watching us? Liara asked. 47 years, Chen replied casually. We needed to make sure you were ready for contact. Liara stopped walking. We needed to be ready. Captain, with respect, your ship looks like it was built from spare parts. Chen laughed. Appearances can be deceiving, Ambassador. We learned that from watching you. Your ships are beautiful but limited. Ours are functional and flexible. They entered a conference room where several humans waited. A holographic display activated, showing both fleets. Now, Chen began, let's discuss why we're really here. Your empire controls 30% of the galaxy through technological superiority. But that technology has stagnated. Stagnated? Liara felt insulted. We are the most advanced civilization in known space. Were, corrected a human scientist. You were the most advanced. But you stopped asking, what if? You stopped trying impossible things. We didn't. The display changed, showing technical schematics that made Liara's head spin. Quantum entanglement drives, Chen explained. Programmable matter armor. 0-point energy reactors. All things your scientists declared impossible centuries ago. But that's all theoretical, Liara protested weakly. For you, yes. For us. Chen pressed a button. The room suddenly filled with floating holographic projections showing human colonies across the galaxy. For us, it's Tuesday. Liara sank into a chair, her worldview crumbling. The primitive newcomers weren't primitive at all. They were something far more dangerous, innovators who refused to accept limitations. Why reveal yourselves now? She asked. Chen's smile faded. Because something is coming. Something that will require both our peoples to survive. And Ambassador, the Empire's way of thinking won't be enough. Dr. Thelen had seen many strange things in his career as the Empire's chief scientist, but nothing prepared him for what he found inside the human ship. This can't be right, he muttered, running the scanner again. The readings make no sense. His team of elite researchers surrounded a simple-looking panel on the Defiance's wall. Their most advanced scanning equipment showed impossible results. Sir, his assistant whispered, the metal is changing. It's rewriting its molecular structure in real time. A human engineer named Mike walked over, sipping coffee from a dented mug. Oh, that's just the adaptive armor. Pretty basic stuff. Basic? Thelen sputtered. This violates 3 fundamental laws of physics. Mike shrugged. Yeah, we had to rewrite those laws. They were holding us back. Thelen followed Mike to the engine room, his team trailing behind in stunned silence. The room hummed with energy that made their fur stand on end. Careful near the containment field, Mike warned casually. We're running about 12 grams of antimatter right now. Thelen's scanner screamed warnings. Antimatter. That much would destroy a planet. How are you containing it? Quantum phase-locked magnetic bottles, Mike explained, patting a device that looked like a metal trash can. We figured it out after watching your failed experiments. You guys always overthink things. But the energy required for containment alone would require more power than your entire fleet. Yeah, we solved that too. Mike pointed to a small cube floating in an energy field. 0-point energy tap. Pulls power directly from quantum vacuum fluctuations. Thalan's legs felt weak. The Empire had declared 0-point energy impossible after centuries of failed research. Yet here it was, powering the ship's coffee maker. Want to see something really cool? Mike grinned, leading them to the bridge. Captain Chen was there, manipulating holographic controls. Dr. Phelan. Perfect timing. Watch this. She pressed a sequence of buttons. The space outside the window rippled like water. We're bending space-time, Chen explained. Our quantum entanglement drive doesn't move the ship through space. It moves space around the ship. That's not possible, Phelan stammered. The energy requirements would be infinite. Only if you do it your way, Chen replied. We found a shortcut. Want to know the secret? Phelan nodded weakly. We stopped assuming things were impossible just because the math was hard. Every time your scientists hit a wall, they gave up. We grabbed sledgehammers. The tour continued. Each system was more impossible than the last. Gravity generators that worked by manipulating dark matter. Communications that used quantum entanglement for instant transmission across galaxies. Weapons that fired contained singularities. By the end, Phelan sat in the mess hall, staring at his coffee. The cup was made from programmable matter that kept the drink at perfect temperature. Everything we knew is wrong, he whispered. Mike sat beside him. Not wrong, just incomplete. Your empire got comfortable. You stopped pushing boundaries. How did you do all this? Simple, Mike smiled. Every time someone said, that's impossible, we asked why. And then we refused to accept the answer. Phelan realized the truth. The Empire hadn't met a more advanced civilization. They'd met one that simply refused to accept limitations. And that made humans the most dangerous species in the galaxy. The Imperial High Council chamber had never been so quiet. 12 of the most powerful beings in the galaxy sat frozen, staring at the holographic reports floating before them. Emperor Zolthan broke the silence. Explain this again, slowly. Intelligence Director Saren cleared her throat. Your Majesty, in the past 6 hours, human ships have appeared at 17 key locations across the Empire. Each ship demonstrated technology we believed impossible. 17 ships. Grand Admiral Vexer slammed his fist on the table. Are we under attack? No, Saren replied. They've made no aggressive moves. They're just there, watching. The hologram changed, showing footage from different systems. Human ships appearing out of nowhere, ignoring Imperial defenses, then simply waiting. How long have they been watching us? Asked Council Member Thex. Saren hesitated. Our analysis suggests decades, maybe longer. Impossible, Vexer shouted. Our sensors would have detected them. That's the problem, Saren continued. They've been using technology beyond our ability to detect. We found evidence of human observation posts dating back 47 years, hidden in plain sight. Emperor Zolthan leaned forward. You're telling me these humans have been studying us for half a century, developing technology that surpasses ours, and we never knew? Yes, Your Majesty. They've been learning our strengths and our weaknesses. Another council member spoke up. What do they want? Saren activated another hologram showing Captain Chen's message. They claim they want alliance, not war. But what? The Emperor demanded. But they're prepared for both. Each of their ships could potentially destroy an entire fleet. Our weapons analysis team is concerned. Vexer stood up, his military uniform gleaming. Then we strike first. Hit them before they can. Sit down, Admiral, The Emperor commanded. "Have you not been listening? They've outsmarted us at every turn." The room fell silent again. For 5,000 years, the Empire had expanded unopposed. Their technology and military might had crushed all resistance. Now they faced something new, a species that had studied them, learned from them, and surpassed them. "There's more," Saren added reluctantly. "We've detected unusual activity in the outer regions. Ships we can't identify, using technology similar to the humans, but different." "What are you saying?" the Emperor asked. "I believe the humans were telling the truth. Something else is coming. Something that scares even them." Council member Lissa, the oldest among them, spoke for the first time. "We've grown arrogant, comfortable. We stopped innovating because we believed we'd reached the peak. These humans, they never stopped climbing." Vexer paced angrily. "So what do we do? Surrender?" "No," the Emperor decided. "We learn. Saren, arrange a meeting with this Captain Chen. If they've truly surpassed us, we need to understand how." "And if it's a trap?" Vexer asked. The Emperor looked at the hologram of the Defiance, its crude appearance hiding unimaginable power. "Then we're already trapped. They could have destroyed us already. The fact that they haven't means they want something else." As the council dispersed, each member carried the weight of a new reality. The Empire's 5,000-year dominance had ended not with a war, but with a simple truth. They'd stopped looking forward, while humanity never stopped reaching for the impossible. The age of imperial supremacy was over. The question now was whether they could adapt quickly enough to survive what came next. The imperial throne room had hosted countless historic moments, but none like this. Captain Sarah Chen walked alone down the long golden hall. No guards, no weapons, just a small device on her belt. The Empire's elite guards lined the walls, weapons ready. They'd never seen someone approach the Emperor so casually. Emperor Zolthan sat on his crystal throne, surrounded by advisors. He studied the human captain carefully. She seemed unremarkable. Average height, simple uniform, calm expression. Yet this woman commanded technology that terrified his best scientists. "Captain Chen," the Emperor began formally, "you requested this meeting. Speak." Sarah bowed respectfully, then smiled. "Your Majesty, I'll be direct. We've been watching your empire because we needed to be sure." "Sure of what?" "That you were worth saving." Murmurs filled the hall. The Emperor raised his hand for silence. "Explain." Sarah touched her belt device. A hologram appeared, showing a galaxy map. 47 years ago, we detected something at the edge of known space. Something hungry. It consumes entire star systems, leaving nothing behind. The map zoomed to show dark spots, spreading like cancer. "We call them the Devourers. They're coming this way." "And you think we need your help?" Admiral Vexer interrupted from the sidelines. Sarah laughed. "No, Admiral. We need each other." She pressed another button. Her personal shield activated, creating a shimmering field around her body. The guards' weapons fired automatically. Energy beams that should have vaporized her simply vanished. "Personal shield generator," she explained casually. "Every human soldier has one. Powered by zero-point energy. It can stop anything short of a supernova." She deactivated the shield and pulled out a small cube. Before their eyes, the cube transformed into a detailed sculpture of the Emperor. "Matter transmutation," she continued. "We can turn anything into anything else, limited only by imagination." The Emperor leaned forward. "Why show us this?" "Because we could have conquered you easily, but conquest is wasteful. We learned that lesson long ago." Sarah's expression grew serious. "The Devourers can't be fought with conventional weapons. They adapt too quickly. The only way to stop them is with technology they can't predict or understand. Technology like yours," the Emperor realized. "Not just ours. Yours too, if you're willing to think differently." Sarah gestured to the throne room. "Your empire has resources we lack. manufacturing capacity, rare materials, billions of brilliant minds. But you've stopped innovating. You've forgotten how to dream impossible dreams. Emperor Zoltan stood, descending from his throne. You're proposing an alliance. More than that. A merger. Human innovation combined with imperial resources. Together, we can create weapons and defenses the Devourers can't counter. And if we refuse? Sarah's smile faded. Then we'll fight the Devourers alone. We might win. But your empire will certainly fall. The choice is yours. The Emperor studied the human captain. She offered not threats, but partnership. Not conquest, but cooperation. It went against every imperial tradition. Show me more of these impossible technologies, he said finally. If what you say is true, we have much to discuss. Sarah's smile returned. I thought you'd never ask. Shall we start with temporal manipulation or dimensional folding? As the demonstration began, everyone in the throne room knew they were witnessing the end of one era and the beginning of another. Admiral Crix watched the Emperor shake hands with Captain Chen. Something inside him snapped. 5,000 years of imperial dominance ended by a handshake. No, this is wrong. He whispered to his second-in-command, Rax. We're surrendering to these primitives. But, sir, their technology is a trick. Has to be. Crix activated his private comm channel. All loyal ships, prepare for emergency protocol Omega Red. Across the Empire, captains who shared Crix's views received the coded message. 12 battleships powered up their weapons in secret. On the Defiance, Lieutenant Jack Morrison noticed something odd on his sensors. Captain, I'm reading power spikes in the Imperial fleet. Chen was still in the throne room, discussing alliance terms with the Emperor. First Officer Williams took command. Yellow alert. Shields up, but don't power weapons. We don't want to provoke them. Too late. Admiral Crix gave the order. All ships, fire. Destroy the human vessel. 12 Imperial battleships unleashed their full arsenal. Plasma cannons, quantum torpedoes, and gravitic pulse weapons. Enough firepower to crack a moon. All struck the Defiance simultaneously. The human ship didn't even shake. Energy absorption at 100%. Morrison reported calmly. They're feeding our shields. Williams smiled. Return the favor. Non-lethal response pattern Delta. The Defiance glowed briefly, then released the absorbed energy in precise beams. Each attacking ship found its weapons disabled. Engines offline. Life support untouched. In seconds, 12 mighty battleships drifted helplessly in space. In the throne room, alarms blared. Captain Chen sighed. I apologize, Your Majesty. Some of your officers appear to disagree with our alliance. Emperor Zoltan's face darkened with rage. Admiral Crix. I should have known. Chen activated her communicator. Williams, status report. 12 ships attacked us, Captain. All disabled, no casualties. Should we restore their systems? Negative. Let them drift for a while. Chen turned to the Emperor. We anticipated this. There are always those who fear change. On his disabled flagship, Admiral Crix pounded his dead console. Impossible. Impossible. Suddenly, his view screen activated. Captain Chen appeared, but she wasn't in the throne room anymore. She was somehow on his bridge, standing right next to him. How? Crix stammered. Holographic projection, with haptic feedback. Chen explained. I'm still with the Emperor, but I can be here too. She looked around at his terrified crew. Admiral, you just demonstrated why your empire needs us. We'll never surrender to. Surrender? Chen laughed. We don't want your surrender. We want your potential. She gestured to space outside. Your weapons are impressive but predictable. The Devourers will adapt to them in minutes. But imagine those weapons enhanced with our technology. You're trying to trick us. Weaken us before you invade. Chen's expression hardened. If we wanted to invade, Admiral, we would have done it 40 years ago. We chose partnership because we believe in something your empire forgot. growth through cooperation, not conquest. She vanished, leaving a message on his screen. Your ships will regain power in 1 hour. Use that time to think about what really matters, pride or survival. Back in the throne room, Emperor Zolfon issued new orders. Arrest Admiral Crix and his conspirators. From now on, we work with the humans, not against them. The failed attack had proven one thing. Humanity wasn't just technologically superior. They were strategically patient. And that patience might be what saves both civilizations from the coming darkness. News of the failed attack spread across the Empire like wildfire. But instead of fear, something unexpected happened: curiosity. Young Imperial scientist Vera sat in her lab, replaying the battle footage for the 100th time. "They didn't destroy our ships," she muttered. "They could have, but they didn't." Her colleague, Nexus, nodded. "They disabled them perfectly. No deaths, no permanent damage. That requires incredible precision." Similar conversations happened everywhere. In military academies, officers studied human tactics. In universities, professors analyzed human technology. In homes, families debated what it all meant. Ambassador Lyra found herself swamped with requests. "Everyone wants to visit the human ships," she told Captain Chen. "Scientists, artists, engineers, even children. They're not afraid anymore. They're fascinated." Chen smiled. "That's what we hoped for. Fear closes minds. Curiosity opens them." The Defiance opened its doors to Imperial visitors. Dr. Thalen led the first group of scientists aboard. This time, he came not to judge, but to learn. "Show us everything," he asked Mike, the human engineer. "Everything. That'll take a while." Mike laughed. "Let's start with something fun. Who wants to see temporal manipulation?" The demonstration left the Imperial scientists speechless. A flower bloomed, withered, and bloomed again in seconds. Time itself bent to human will. "How?" Thelen gasped. "We stopped thinking of time as a river," Mike explained. "Started thinking of it as an ocean. Once you change your perspective, new possibilities appear." Meanwhile, young Imperial officers visited human military ships. Commander Zara expected to find massive weapons and armies. Instead, she found gyms, libraries, and art studios. "Where are your warrior training grounds?" she asked. Human Major Thompson led her to a meditation room. "Here, we train minds first, bodies second. A warrior who can't think creatively is just a weapon. We need problem solvers, not just fighters." The real change came when humans revealed their communication network. Imperial citizens could suddenly talk to human colonies across the galaxy, instantly. No delay, no distortion. "Quantum entanglement communication," explained Sarah Chen to the Imperial News Network. "Every particle in the universe is connected. We just learned how to use those connections." Emperor Zolfon watched his empire transform. Streets buzzed with new ideas. Scientists proposed impossible theories. Artists created works inspired by human concepts. Even the military began thinking differently. "Your Majesty," reported Intelligence Director Saren, "we're seeing something unprecedented. Our people aren't just accepting human technology. They're starting to think like humans." "Is that bad?" "No, it's remarkable. Yesterday, a group of junior engineers solved a power distribution problem we've had for centuries. They said they just asked themselves, what would humans do?" The Emperor smiled. "And what did humans do?" "They ignored the rulebook and tried something everyone said was impossible. It worked." In schools, children played with human educational toys that responded to imagination. In laboratories, scientists combined imperial resources with human creativity. In shipyards, engineers redesigned vessels using both philosophies. The empire wasn't being conquered or absorbed. It was evolving. 5,000 years of rigid thinking cracked open, letting in new light. Captain Chen stood with Emperor Zolfon, watching a mixed human imperial team test a prototype engine. "This is what we dreamed of," she said. Not victory, but synthesis. The Emperor nodded. You didn't just bring us technology. You brought us back our ability to dream. Outside, the stars waited. And somewhere in the dark, the devourers drew closer. The change started small, like ripples in a pond. Then it became a tsunami. In the Imperial Science Academy, old Professor Kryn stood before his class. For 40 years, he taught the same lessons. Today was different. Forget everything I taught you, he announced. The students gasped. I was wrong. We were all wrong. He activated a hologram showing human equations. See this. This is how humans achieved faster than light travel. They didn't follow our rules. They made new ones. Across the Empire, similar scenes played out. Young Officer Dex ignored his commander's orders and established direct communication with human ships. Sir, they're teaching us adaptive battle strategies, he reported. Strategies that could save lives. His commander started to object, then stopped. Show me. In the Imperial Research Center, Dr. Venna dusted off her old projects, ideas deemed impossible decades ago. If humans can bend space-time, she declared to her team, then my quantum field theory might work after all. Within days, her team achieved a breakthrough in energy storage that had eluded the Empire for centuries. The real revolution came from unexpected places. Factory workers started modifying production lines using human principles. Artists created new forms of expression combining both cultures. Even street vendors adapted human matter transmutation concepts to create instant food. Emperor Zolfon received daily reports of the transformation. Your Majesty, said Minister Jorl, the people aren't just learning from humans. They're becoming different, better. How so? Watch this. Jorl showed footage of citizens solving problems. An engineer fixed a broken transport using improvised tools. Children built working robots from spare parts. Farmers increased crop yields by thinking creatively about resource use. They're not waiting for official solutions anymore, Jorl explained. They're thinking for themselves. On the Defiance, Dr. Thilon approached Captain Chen with a request. My team wants to stay on your ship, permanently. Why? Because here, when we say something is impossible, your crew asks why. In the Empire, they just accept it. We can't go back to that mindset. Chen nodded. You're welcome to stay. But consider this, your empire needs pioneers like you now more than ever. The tipping point came when junior officers across the fleet started sharing ideas directly with human counterparts, bypassing the chain of command. Admiral Crix's replacement, Admiral Nova, didn't stop them. Let them learn, she told her staff. The old ways nearly got us killed. In cities across the Empire, innovation clubs sprang up. Citizens gathered to share ideas, test theories, and dream big. The government didn't authorize these clubs. They didn't need to. Even language changed. Imperial citizens started using human phrases. Think outside the box. Question everything. Impossible is just an opinion. A High Council convened to discuss these changes. Some members worried about losing imperial culture. Elder Thyra surprised everyone. We're not losing our culture. We're rediscovering it. Before we became rigid and fearful, we were explorers and innovators. The humans reminded us who we used to be. As the meeting ended, an alert came in. Long-range sensors detected the first signs of the Devourers approaching Imperial space. The Emperor stood. Now we'll see if this revolution was in time. Contact the humans. It's time to test our new alliance. Across the Empire, citizens who once feared change now embraced it. They would need every bit of that newfound creativity to survive what was coming. The Imperial Palace had never hosted such a gathering. Humans and Imperials worked side by side, preparing for the historic ceremony. Today would mark the birth of something new. Emperor Zolfon adjusted his ceremonial robes. Beside him, Captain Chen wore her dress uniform. Both leaders understood the weight of this moment. Before we begin, Chen said quietly, there's something you should know about humanity's journey here. The Emperor listened as Chen revealed humanity's greatest secret. We didn't develop all this technology alone. We had help from species your empire overlooked. What do you mean? The Krell from the Dead Zone. You classify them as primitive scavengers. They taught us adaptive engineering. The Void Whisperers you called space madness, hallucinations. They showed us how to bend reality. The micro-collective you dismissed as insignificant. They gave us quantum computing. Zolfon felt his worldview shift again. We ignored them all. You saw their appearance and judged them inferior. We saw their potential and learned from them. That's the real human advantage. We believe everyone has something to teach us. The ceremony began. Representatives from dozens of species filled the grand hall, many seeing the imperial palace for the first time. The Krell's crystalline bodies shimmered. The Void Whisperers floated in their containment fields. Even the microscopic collective appeared as a glowing cloud. Today, Emperor Zolfon announced, we correct a grave error. We've spent millennia believing in our superiority, blind to the wisdom around us. Captain Chen stepped forward. The Devourers aren't just humanity's problem, or the Empire's problem. They threaten all life. Only together can we stop them. The treaty was unlike any other. Not just an alliance between humans and Imperials, but a confederation of equals. Every species would contribute their unique abilities. As they signed, alarms blared. The Devourers had arrived earlier than expected. First wave entering Sector 7, reported Admiral Nova. Enemy ships are adapting to our weapons in real time. Then we give them something they can't adapt to. Chen responded. Launch Operation Synthesis. The combined fleet engaged the Devourers. Imperial ships provided raw firepower. Human vessels used impossible technologies. Krell ships literally rebuilt themselves during battle. Void Whisperers bent space around enemy formations. The micro-collective infiltrated Devourer systems at the molecular level. It's working. Dr. Thelon reported from the science vessel. They can't adapt to so many different approaches simultaneously. The battle raged for hours. Every time the Devourers adapted to one species' tactics, another would surprise them. The diversity of the Alliance became its greatest strength. In the Imperial Command Center, former enemies worked as one. Admiral Crix, released from custody to fight, coordinated with human officers. Concentrate firepower on Grid 3 to 7, he ordered. Human ships, prepare for quantum shift. As the Defiance led a decisive strike, Emperor Zolfon realized the truth. Humanity's greatest technology wasn't their impossible ships or weapons. It was their ability to unite others, to see potential where others saw weakness. We're winning. Chen smiled, watching the Devourers retreat. Not because we're stronger, but because we're together. The Emperor nodded. You didn't just save our empire. You taught us how to save ourselves. The first battle was won, but the war had just begun. And now, the galaxy faced it united. 1 year after the first battle, the galaxy had changed beyond recognition. The Terran Imperial Alliance stood as a beacon of cooperation, with the Defiance as its symbol. Captain Chen and Emperor Zolfon stood together on the observation deck of Unity Station, humanity's gift to the Alliance. The massive structure combined technologies from every member species. Remember when we first met? Chen asked, watching ships from dozens of species dock peacefully. Your people thought we were primitive. Zolfon laughed. And now our younglings wear Think Human t-shirts. The universe has a sense of humor. Below them, the new academy buzzed with activity. Krell engineers taught adaptive construction. Void Whisperers led meditation classes on reality manipulation. Human and Imperial children learned side by side, their minds unrestricted by old prejudices. The Devourers are still out there, Admiral Nova reminded them, joining the observation. But they're retreating. They can't handle our combined tactics. Dr. Thelon rushed in, excitement radiating from him. We've done it. The joint research team cracked dimensional folding. He activated a hologram showing a small device. With this, we can evacuate entire planets in seconds if the Devourers attack. Chen smiled. See, imperial precision combined with human creativity. Neither of us could have done this alone. The transformation went beyond technology. Art galleries displayed works that blended all cultures. Musicians created new instruments that played impossible harmonies. Even food had evolved. Matter transmuters produced dishes that combined flavors from across the galaxy. Status report from the frontier, announced Commander Dex, now leading a mixed species exploration team. We've found 17 new civilizations this month. Following the new protocol, approach with respect, learn before teaching. The Emperor nodded approvingly. No more assuming superiority. Every species has something valuable to offer. In the engineering bay, Mike worked with a team of Imperials on the next generation of ships. Remember, he told them, if someone says it's impossible, that's your starting point, not your ending point. Young Vera, now Chief Innovation Officer, presented her latest project. We've combined human quantum computing with Krell adaptation protocols and Imperial manufacturing. The result? Ships that evolve during flight, becoming whatever we need them to be. As the day ended, a celebration began. The anniversary of the Alliance brought together beings who once feared or dismissed each other. They danced, laughed, and shared stories of the year's achievements. Admiral Crix, now commanding a joint fleet, raised his glass. To the humans who showed us that strength comes not from dominance, but from unity. And to the Empire, Chen responded, who proved that even the oldest trees can grow new branches. The party continued as the Defiance patrolled nearby, its once crude appearance now recognized as purposeful simplicity hiding infinite possibility. On its hull, a new motto gleamed in multiple languages. Impossible is just another word for challenge. Above them, stars twinkled with promise. The Devourers still lurked in the darkness, but they faced something new, a galaxy united not by conquest, but by shared dreams. A young Imperial child approached Chen. Captain, will we ever explore beyond our galaxy? Chen knelt down, smiling. What do you think? The child's eyes sparkled. Nothing's impossible if we work together, right? Exactly, Chen replied. And that's the most human lesson of all. As the celebration continued, the galaxy stepped boldly into its new era, one where impossible dreams became tomorrow's reality.